I am a UAE resident with a French driving license and was involved in a car accident. I do not have a UAE license. What legal consequences or liabilities could I face? Well, it is a loaded question, and potentially there are two separate offenses. One for the accident itself, and the other one, driving without a license. Now, with regards to the accident, that too is a fairly complex matter, or can be, and much depends on who was at fault. So if you are at fault and as a result of this accident for which you were responsible, there are some physical injuries that result to third parties, then the penalties can be a lot more severe. And depending on the overall circumstances, the physical injuries, and as well as any kind of property damage that would have resulted from the accident, the penalties, and also the degree of your fault. The penalties could lead anything from fines to imprisonment to deportation, all three. So that's on the accident front. Furthermore, if in the context of this specific accident, it was discovered that you, as a UAE resident, do not have a UAE driver's license, which you're required to have under the UAE traffic law. That's another offense, and it's a separate offense. And this particular offense also has its own penalties. And in this context, the penalties are, for the first-time offenders, the penalties are just monetary, and that's anything between 2,000 dirhams to 10,000 dirhams. And important to highlight that for these kinds of penalties, it's not up to the police to decide what the penalty should be. It's rather for the prosecutor, which means that this case, which otherwise may seem very simple, would ultimately be transferred from the police to the prosecutor. And then depending on the overall case or underpinning circumstances, it may even be referred to the criminal court. So something as trivial to some, as may appear trivial to some, as just driving with a valid foreign license, but without a UAE license for UAE residents, can lead to these kinds of penalties. That's for the first-time offense. For the second-time offense, or for repeat offenses, it actually the penalties go much higher. It's anything between 5,000 dirhams to 50,000 dirhams and potentially 3 months in jail. So as you can see, something as simple as a traffic accident in the UAE can, first of all, it falls under the criminal umbrella. And second of all, it can have a multitude of causes of action, each one of which will lead to separate liability.